Are you a football fan? Have you ever found yourself wondering, what in the world was that ref thinking? Well, Mike D, the referee, is here to help you. Join me on Whistle Talk as I talk to professionals on the field and in the booth to help you understand what is going on inside the mind of a football official. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Whistle Talk. Mike D joining you here once again from New Jersey. Got my friend Daniel Chamberlain here from Oklahoma. And once again, Mr. Tommy Barlow is joining us tonight. Tommy, Daniel, welcome. What's going on, gents?
Just getting ready for week 10 here, Mike. We've got one last guaranteed game, win and get in kind of scenario for us. So pretty pumped. Football wise, hoping for some good reffing this weekend.
So
I saw some of these clips that we're about to look at.
Yeah, fun stuff. Tommy, how you doing, bud?
Good. Thanks for having me on again.
Always a pleasure having you on.
For this one.
So tonight I've been getting hit up a lot on social media. I always post on the weekends a question of what kind of content would the listeners like to hear about, and one that has continued to come up is people asking about going over mechanics, and I've kind of shied away from the mechanics because when it comes to each state and each associations in the states, mechanics does vary by state. Because we have six person crews, goodness, 5-person crews in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs, you're going to get a 7-person crew. So that does change the mechanics, but tonight we're going to kind of dive into some of the basics that will carry over for both the 5, 6, and 7-man game, and different things like that. I'm going to try to stay away from keys per se, because what we're looking at is always going to change, and that's something that I do have to give New Jersey a lot of props on. And let me hold it up here. We got our New Jersey manual here. I blocked my microphone, but we got our New Jersey mechanics. Yeah, Tom's got it right there.
Look at ya.
And so we have this like 80, 90 page manual. How many pages we got in here? I just flipped it open to 73, and then we got our additions and then the appendixes. Just on our mechanics of making sure that we're where we're supposed to be. And Daniel, as a coach, you know that one of the jobs as a coach is to put the players in the right position. And it's a matter of the players to make the plays that hopefully you put them into the good position for. Well, that's basically what our mechanics are doing for our team, is we're trying to make sure that we're in the right position so that we can see the call that we're not going to throw. So we're going to kind of dive into that tonight. I do have I did do it live tonight, so hopefully we get some people jump on with some questions. But before we dive into it, I got to go with my spiel here. Once again, if you're enjoying the show, do me a favor, hit those like and subscribe buttons. Totally free, really helps with the podcast, with that algorithm. Just love saying that word. And if you'd like, leave a quick rating or review on the podcast app that you're listening to. Once again, if you're in the car, please don't do it. Wait till you get somewhere and then do it. If you know somebody that would enjoy the show, share the episode with them, help it on out. And make sure to go to the youtube.com at Mike D, the referee site, hit subscribe there. We are going to be showing some clips tonight on some good mechanics. We are going to be showing some clips tonight on some, well, not so good mechanics. So again, and we talked about it, we want to always just continue to learn from our mistakes or the mistakes of our predecessors. So, Daniel, while you were venturing off to get yourself a nice cocktail, I showed Tommy the clip that I'm going to start off with tonight. And I'm just going to kind of let it
beat a linebacker running on the field from the sideline to tackle a pick six. Because if it doesn't beat that one, I'm not even amazed anymore.
It might.
Oh, that good, huh?
Yeah. So this one, this one I pulled off of YouTube. Our buddies John Boy did this one. So John Boy, thank you very much for making the clip. So we're gonna kind of let it play, and you're gonna, well, Daniel, I'll let you react as you're watching it.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild. They're like, all right, let's stretch the chains. So the guy with the chain, he's like, stretches them as far as he can. And, okay, that's going to be short by a little bit. And look at the ref. He grabs it. So first he grabs it, moves it closer. The chain's not even taut now. Then he grabs the ball and inches it. And he's like, yep, first down. Now the best part is the other team is scouring over
What? First of all, the amount of force he had to use to stretch that chain makes me think it was probably a first down anyways. Right? It looks like he pulls it out of the other guy's hands a little bit. And then anytime a ref has to touch the ball and respot it, it's a little crazy.
Yeah, so this kind of is my lead in tonight.
The other team is scouring over,
just sitting there. Yep.
And look at the ref. He grabs it. So first he grabs it, moves it closer. The chain's not even taut now. Then he grabs the ball and inches it. And he's like, yep, first down. Now the best part is,
yeah, can't make that one up.
The chains and spotting, it seems like it should be so simple. But there's always issues with it. And I realize the guys holding the flags are generally like volunteers from here. I think do y'all use?
Well, not all of us. So
okay, ours are just like the school provides 2 dads or something. So you always have the game within the game, right? Like the guy's like, ooh, can I help my team get a 9-yard or make the opposing team have to go 11-yard, right? There's always games within the game. Let me give you an example. This last Friday, we're playing. Their 50-yard line is painted with a white and then 2 black or red or whatever colors, right? So it's 3 widths.
Okay.
So when we get to the 50, we're on the near secondary color width. So the tip of the first line.
Gotcha.
Moving, it doesn't matter. Going across the 50. The dad running the chains puts it on the 3rd painted line. So not even like on the 50. So a ball's here. He puts the chains up. We have to get an additional yard to get a first down, right? Like, and it just seems like the ref should be like, no, that's not fix it. What is this? And we're telling the ref like, hey, ref, what is going on here? But no, nothing. So I don't know why the chains are always such an issue. That seems so weird for such a very simple thing to always be a problem.
Well, here in New Jersey, we in our chapter where Tommy and I work, we predominantly do have other officials that are on the chains, and because of the shortage of officials, we now have basically a good crew of officials, or not even carded officials. They're kind of just friends of the assigner and stuff like that, but they've been doing it throughout the process. But right now that we're into the playoffs, I think it's mandated. Am I correct in saying that, Tom, that it's mandated that we have officials on the chains?
I don't think it's mandated, but I think generally they lean towards that because more guys are available, especially this week and onward.
Yeah. So Daniel, I do have to divulge some information here that is going to pain me. This happened in New Jersey. This was 4 years ago. But to go back to your point, look at the team that just got a first down against them. That's the home team. They're wearing the dark uniforms. So this actually negatively affected the home team with this one. And the lead up to this whole scenario here that we're talking about, is basically our mechanics on spotting the ball. And then in this scenario, this is our mechanics on what we're supposed to do for a measurement, because there are true mechanics for that unfortunately we don't have many clips of, because usually when you're getting huddle clips, it's between plays. So when we're killing it to do a measurement, Usually we're not capturing that on film, but this one was, I guess, a live stream of the game, so it continued to roll. So they were able to get this one, and unfortunately, that crew was not allowed to work a state playoff game that year when this occurred. I don't know what the following year's repercussions were, but it's a kind of lead into why mechanics matter, because we don't want to have that optic show up and A, negatively affect the game, B, now negatively affect us as officials. I mean, that put a black eye on our state for a good little bit. But unfortunately, that is the minority group of officials, not the majority group of officials. But that's kind of where our lead in is kind of going to today with what we're going to be talking about. So, Tom, I'll ask you the first question. Your opinion. Why are mechanics so important?
I mean, it's fairly simple to just sort of say that, you can know the rules like the back of your hand, and that's not going to make you a good official. It's really about being in the right place, and it's about your look to the outside world. Like, I'm sure anybody who knows the rules could stand in an end zone and officiate, but if the line of scrimmage is at the 50-yard line, it's not going to do you any good. Extreme example, of course, but it's really about being in the right spot, looking at the right things, moving in the right way, trailing the play as opposed to getting out in front of the play and coming back. All those things just go into, what has been developed over hundreds of years of football officiating, football in general, to just have the best view, best look at everything that's going on and officiate to the best of everybody's ability.
All right, so I'm going to pull up another clip here, which this one's now going to kind of play into what we're going to be discussing here. And this is something, and you're going to notice a good amount of these clips are either my crew that I'm on or the crew that Tom is the head official for. But I want you to focus on the official on the bottom of the screen here, our line judge. And the run play is coming towards him on the short side of the field. And you notice how he backtracks to allow the play to proceed to get out in front of him. He's also backing up to make sure that he's safe, because we're on the short side of the field. The ball's being snapped from the hash, and it's basically a sweep to his sideline, and then the ball does go out of bounds. But right there, I think that's a pretty good view of what our mechanics are supposed to look like. But also even prior to that, you Daniel, did you notice him give the wave over his head? Well, he's signaling to the guy on the opposite side of the field that he's got two guys back on his side, so that we're communicating across the field, not on our O to O's. So he did a good hand signal mechanic, allowed the play to develop, backtracked to A, for his own safety, but B, to still be able to keep everything in his line of vision, and did a good job with the ball coming to the sideline. So it's a lot of little nuances like that people don't typically pick up on it, and that sometimes we get caught napping with, because if that official had cement shoes that night and was just caught standing there, and all of a sudden that play doesn't gain the 3-4 yards, and now they get tackled out of bounds, well, we've had officials get undercut and get severely injured. So it's things like that we're really trying to avoid, while also officiating the best game that we can. So I mentioned it before. For us, our mechanics are again, like Tom said, trying to get into the right spot, seeing things the right way. And again, just like the coaches, trying to make sure that, well, we're in the right position to try to make all the calls. And for us, a strong mechanic can kind of make the coaches, make the crowd blind to some things that we may or may not do. And again, I always joke around, I like to be Homer Simpson and kind of fall back into that hedge. Well, if you have good mechanics, you kind of can, in essence, hide from it, because you're doing your job, but you're not in the forefront of the game. And people aren't paying the $3 admission that people are paying to go to a high school game, if that, to come and see us. They're coming to see their kids and their school and their town and all that other stuff. And We're just there to spot the ball and wind the clock. Any questions, Daniel?
I do have questions on mechanics, and you kind of showed that guy there, and we could even put up the same clip if you want. I know you were talking about how he's doing such a good job. As a coach, if I see this, we're running to the sideline, he's backing up, he's spotting the ball, so he's got to look where the ball and the feet go out. How is he, and maybe, and I guess I'm asking mechanic, who is supposed to be responsible? What if there's a hold right there or a face mask as he's going out of bounds? And he's trying to watch for the spot, and I know he's got a ton of stuff to look at, right? That's why we can't be overly harsh against our refs, because there's a lot going on. Can you explain to me, kind of clarify where his eyes are supposed to be? I know you said keys is not something you want to get into, but I like it. So how the heck is he supposed to watch for all of that, right, when he's the line judge there?
Tom, you want to take that one?
Sure. So, I mean, first things first, a common thing is we don't have to watch where the ball is, right? Because the term you could use is he's free from foul. You could say the ball doesn't foul, right? So at this point in time, right, this running back he's got no threat to him. So at this point, we can be watching the blocks out in front, looking for, maybe we peek at this guy peek at the guy in front of Mike here. I'm following my mouse on the screen.
I got you.
Guy in front of Mike there, that kind of maybe coming to make a play, see what he's doing. But right now, we don't have to just watch the ball carrier. And I think mechanically the referee, the white hat down there, has the ball carrier till he crosses the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
So our guy on the bottom of the screen here is watching blocks. Keep an eye on that. And then as running back does get beyond the line of scrimmage, turns upfield, he still doesn't necessarily have to watch the ball carrier. He can watch what's going on around him. But he's also got help from 3 other guys, and the referee coming up behind the play, Mike D in the middle there, and his deep wing on the side, or if we're in a 5 official, a back judge will be in the middle of the field. All 3 of those guys are kind of just circling what's going on around him. So maybe the short wing here is going to have the face mask on the runner or something bad, a late hit out of bounds, but the other guys will be seeing, a late block, a block in the back, a hold that carries into that, as opposed to just one guy kind of head on a swivel looking at everything. You got 3 or 4 that are surrounding it, kind of boxing it all in.
And
That's good. It's good to know their eyes are elsewhere, because what if he tight ropes the sideline, and now I was looking for a block and not with his feet went out or not, and so I know there's just a lot going on. So I'm always interested in how you 5 or 6 guys watch 22 guys and the sideline and the play clock, and there's a lot going on. So,
and we always say mechanically, our short wings for us probably mechanically have the hardest job game in and game out, because they've got a lot of stuff pre-snap with motions, with flinches, with false starts, with a lot of those things, with formations and different things like that. And then they've got all that other stuff that you were just talking about, and they are responsible for getting the spots, which we're going to talk about, the soft spot and how that comes into play. But also inbounds, out of bounds. Did they make the catch? Did they have 1 foot inbounds when they completed the catch? Did they not have a foot in? Were they bobbling the ball? So there's a lot of different things when it comes to the mechanics from our short wing that, again, people kind of take for granted. Here in New Jersey, again, though, we are lucky that we go with a 6-person crew, because, like Tom mentioned, we've got another set of eyes down that sideline. And ultimately, the short wing here is responsible to get that spot. But the guy across, who doesn't really have much going on, who's kind of officiating behind, he's got a great angle of where he may have gone out of bounds or where he got tackled and different things like that. So he can be coming up across the sideline. And now with the headsets that we have, the O to O's, he could be saying, hey, 20-yard line, or 22. So we have that. And now we got another set of eyes back here who's looking for any type of garbage going on in the background. But as we've always said, we're always looking for the point of the attack fouls. So that's going to be my focus. So if I get a hold closer to the middle of the field right here, well, you can see where my eyes are focused right now. I'm looking at the point of the attack. So the stuff that's going on back there at this point in time, well, that's ancillary. That's why I have other guys on the opposite side of the field to pick that up, and we're focusing on the point of the attack.
I love it.
So that's an easy one, and a lot of times you're going to hear other officials refer to it as open door, that they're opening their hips to where the play is going and different things like that. But in that scenario, official does a good job opening up, allowing the play to proceed before him, and then trailing the play to get the spot. Another part of his mechanics is the ball goes out of bounds, so he's the one that's in charge right away of killing the clock. Let me see if I can back. No, this is backed up as far. Daniel, can you see all the way across the field, the flags on the opposite side of the field?
I can see the line to gain flag
Yeah.
there, but
So this official is going to be in charge of killing the clock, because our official that is on the chain side, we don't want him ever turning around and looking to see if the team got a first down. So the guy that's across from him is going to be the one that's going to signal, all right, we're going to stop the clock. And he's relaying, hey, first down, so that we get the ball spotted and then wind the clock, or if it's on the snap, depending upon what the situation was. But he's the one that's going to be killing the clock. So there's a lot of those little nuances, again, that are going to go into it. Now, Tommy, before you got into the white hat, what was your predominant position?
Deep wing and back judge and 5-man before that. I've worked like 3 games in the line of scrimmage, the varsity level at least. And
Gotcha.
I hate it. I hate it.
I hate it.
It's
How'd
the
you get-
worst
how'd you
job on the
You
field.
snuck right by it, sounds like.
All right, so here we go with another clip here. Now, this one, I'm going to, again, full disclosure, it wasn't the best mechanically done here. When we're talking about now soft spots, and I'm going to let this one play through, but we got one official that actually does do a very good job, I need to correct myself, on getting the soft spot across, and because of all the action that's happening with the official down here, they didn't communicate with each other. And you're going to see where the spot actually was and where the umpire ends up spotting the ball are different spots. Let me turn the volume down for the background so we don't have to hear the parents yelling at us again. So we got a pass play. And if you, first of all, look at that sunset in the background. Beautiful. So we got a pass play, and I made a mistake with this one, but you see where he got the forward progress was stopped? So our official down below, I had it backwards, our official down below, who did have the correct view, gets a good spot on it.
Two
The
of them,
official-
do, right?
What's that?
Because it looked like your ump in the middle is also, he's already got it spotted up too. He hadn't even asked for help.
Well, he's looking at the wing closest to where the play was, which is what we want to do. We want to kind of go to the closest wing, but we should be communicating across, hey, I had forward progress stopped at the 43-yard line here, and eventually the ball's going to right there at the 46. So it's a 3-yard swing, and I mean, that's almost a first down. Mechanics and hit with forward progress. So that's one there with the soft spot. So that's one our opposite wing, our opposite official should be communicating. And again, the one did do a good job, but like you said, they were kind of in a rush. And we always say we want to hustle. We don't want to rush. We want to hustle. Tommy, anything you want to add to that one?
No, I mean, those are interesting plays because they're hard. You know, the general, like you said, Mike, is the general, you know, you go to the guy who's closest to it, the covering official, right? As the umpire, you're taking the spot from him. But that's a play where that's a longer play. He's hit, driven back. Now, you know, he's got a bad angle because he's got 10 yards between him and the runner, and he's 20 yards away, whereas the guy on the other side of the field has a much more flat angle, can get a much better look at where that forward progress was. So that's where we want to come up and sort of say, hey, I got it here. And arguably in that kind of situation, hopefully the umpire can know to be like, all right, let me check this other guy's spot because he had the better angle.
Yep. And again, that's
Do your deep wings come into play there at all? Can they come out and say, hey, look, we we botched this, and how much communication. Obviously, you don't want to have an argument in the middle of a football game, but how much are you going, hey, 2 out of 3 here, or 3 out of 4 people saw it up here? How do you kind of sort that out on the referee side, especially on your O to O stuff?
So with those situations, I don't know that the deep wings have a ton of information. Maybe they do. I can say from our perspective, if our deep wings are pretty sure that something is off, they're just kind of go in the O2O. Hey, I think I had it at the 33, something like that. Where they can really help is long plays like that end up going out of bounds. Where at least in New Jersey, they don't want that deep wing to come up and mark the spot. They want them to stay back, keep their cushion, dead ball officiate. But in that situation, the deep wing can sort of come on and say, hey, you went out of the 35. So then the short wing doesn't have to worry about where he went out of bounds, just kind of jogs up to the 35, trusts him, and we put the ball on the line and move on.
So when the coach starts cussing there because he's mad because he saw it, is it just, oh, well, we're moving on? What are we doing here?
Probably moving on.
Yeah, unfortunate. We got to go with one guy said, and that's why the technology with the O2O, in my opinion, I truly do like it because it is a crew saver. It saves things like that from occurring. Some people are still old school. Some people haven't taken to the O2O. They want to just do the hand signals and the cross field mechanics and things like that with the eye contact, which still are vital. Like, I'm not trying to downgrade those by any means, but add the technology that we have available to us to help each other out. It could avoid something like that, because for us as an umpire, I should never be getting a spot because I don't know. My keys aren't in there. I shouldn't be getting a spot. I should be spotting off of the short wing, and the short wing should be getting help from across. And then the deep wing on the O2O, especially like Tommy said, on those long plays, because our deep wings want to maintain a cushion of approximately, on average, 22 yards deep. So they want to make sure, because they don't want to get beat to the goal line, but they can still radio, hey, if the kid got tackled at the 5-yard line and the play started at the 50, it's still going to be that short wing's job to get that spot while that deep wing is on the goal line now. And he can easily just radio in, hey, 5-yard line, 5-yard line. And they're communicating with each other in that aspect. So we got another one now where we got a little bit of a reverse mechanic now coming out. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope, this one's going in. All right, so this is a short wing on the goal line. This is also my crew here. This is a different game. And I think Dan's going to get props here again on how he utilizes it. So the mechanics there on a short touchdown, again, coming to him. So the play is kind of a toss sweep to the bottom of the screen. It's, I don't know this down, but the distance is from the 3-yard line, basically at the goalpost, so position 2. So a toss sweep coming his direction. Well, we want to back up, and this is why, Daniel, you should always see officials if you have a G here for the goal line. Well, that G should be about like 7 or 8 yards off the field, because this official wants to back up for, again, his safety, but also he's clearing and giving himself a great line of view here. And then as the runner does come in and score, you see him turning before putting his hands up and signaling touchdown. So the mechanic here is he gave himself some space. He blew the whistle when the kid crossed the goal line, because that's going to then kill the play and tell everybody not to take a free tee-off shot on the kid in the end zone. And then he's going to put his hands up, and he did it methodically. And now we have our deep wing coming in to retrieve the ball. So that's all secondary. If there was one critique, I would tell Dan just to turn his body a little bit more and face the action. One thing that we have, that Tom and I have here in New Jersey, there's an official, he's a retired NFL official that does a lot of work with our clinics and stuff like that. And a key phrase that's always stuck in my head is he says, belt to the ball. So make sure your belt buckle is facing the ball so that your body, so that you're not missing any type of potential scrum that could be going on in that situation. But we've got this one pretty well covered with our deep wing there, helping him out. So this one's kind of a self-explanatory, but again, gave some space, blew the whistle, killed the play, ends up signal touchdown. Tom, should the wing on the opposite side be signaling touchdown?
Probably not. Too close to the sideline. If he's gonna mirror his, fine. But in my opinion, nobody needs to signal except Dan right there.
So that in that scenario, and kind of knew the answer that Tom was going to give on that one. We don't want to have one guy going up with it and then the other guy coming in and possibly killing it, and especially because it's towards the sideline. This one's kind of an easier one, but when it's in the middle of the field, we want to come in and I unfortunately I don't have one of those. I wish I was able to find the clip. I was trying to scramble.
We
to get
saw
all different
one
clips.
in the last couple of weeks, Mike, on one
Yeah.
of our other ridiculous call videos. Didn't we see a goal line that one guy marked a score and the other one ran in and said, "No, I got it short"?
Yep. And that's the mechanic we're trying to avoid. So making sure that we see what's going on. So this is the next one that I wanted to go to. This one is
I remember this.
I'm trying to find. Here's the one I wanted. Coming out. So this is a play coming out. So we have our official here. So the ball is on the 4-yard line, negative 4-yard line. Team's in a spread formation. So what's the most important thing we got to protect right here?
The goal
that
line?
we have to know about. Say
The
again,
goal
Dave?
line and the end line, right?
The goal line. Yep. So we got a referee at the back of the end zone here. He's going to make sure nobody goes at the back, doesn't pull a Dan Orlovsky and go at the back of the end zone. But then our short wings, you're going to see the short wing is going to get to the goal line first and then start working their way up because they need to make sure that the ball carrier gets out of the end zone, especially when you get the shotgun formations like this. So I'll let this one play through. So shotgun, see them getting to the goal line. Now they're in good position because let me backtrack it a little bit. Quarterback has to step up into the pocket, and God forbid somebody comes in and takes this guy out. Well, we got both wings now at the goal line to know if the ball carrier was out of the end zone before he got rid of the ball. And then you see him now hustling down to try to get the spot. And that one there, Tom, what did you pick up on that one at the end?
Did I miss something?
I saw some laundry
progress?
coming out. He had yellow in his hand. What's that for?
No, we're not going to talk about that right now. We're talking mechanics, Daniel. We see no yellow tonight. See how
We
we kind
got
of got ahead
progress
of
to
the play?
like the 21 there, and he's probably taken back to the 18, but that guy overruns the play.
Yeah. And that's the one where we want to try to stay. And you see him backtrack, and he ends up getting the right spot. We always talk about we want to continue to officiate when we do have a violation. We are dropping that yellow hanky. And he kind of got caught up and continued to run and overran it. So we want to try to still keep everything in front of us in that scenario. But getting back to the goal line is the key because we got to protect that goal line. And even if we're a couple inches off on our spot, well, the goal line is the difference between a safety or not. So 2 points for one team or the other, where, yeah, first down sucks that we missed that, but we don't want to take points off the board for somebody when us being out of position. All right, so let me go back to the one that Tom remembers. So this is Tom's
I think I
crew here.
remember.
So what do we got? I can't see the situation. It looks like 1st and 10. Excuse me. So 1st and 10 on about the plus 25-yard line. So the first thing that I'm noticing here, we got an orbit motion going on by one of the slot receivers. Quarterback takes the snap. Is that a forward pass or a backward pass?
Calling it backwards, but I'm
Looks
an untrained
backwards to
eye.
me.
Looks
Yeah,
backwards to me
yard
too.
deep, right?
So, Tom,
Not
I
my
want to ask
fault.
you the mechanic on this one. When we got a backward pass, because we got somebody now on the, what did I say, 25-yard line is where our short wings are initially situated at the 25-yard line. The orbit motion takes the running back behind the quarterback who's already 5 yards back. So he's now, the orbit motion takes him back to the 32-yard line. And now the ball is received at about the 32, 31 and a half yard line. If that ball were to hit the ground and be incomplete, we're now cutting hairs on forward pass, backward pass. What are we doing with the mechanic in that one? I know this one's one that we discuss a lot in our association. So, Tom, I'm kind of putting you on the spot here.
Well, listen, I would love for there to be some kind of signal. They used to do one where they would say, "Hey, if it's backwards, punch back. If it's forward, leave it alone." But they don't want that anymore. We don't do that anymore. But really, it's this backside guy. The one up top. Yeah. Again, I'm circling it with my mouse as if I'm doing this on my own. But it's the guy at the top of the screen in front of the chains. He's going to have the best look. And even though it's coming to the guy at the bottom of the screen, bottom right of the screen, he's got the best look. And the guy at the bottom of the screen, again, is probably picking up blocks since action is coming this way initially. So that could be a quick O2O. Hey, it's backwards. But really, if it's forward or backwards and it hits the ground, you're telling everybody it's forward when you blow your whistle and give the incomplete signal. And you're telling everybody it's backwards when you don't do anything and you just stand there and wait for the people to recover it.
Is the white hat not allowed to help in this situation? Is his eye supposed to be somewhere else? I mean, it's happening right in front of him.
It can, but from that angle, I have no view whether it's forward or backward. If it was orbit the other way or I was on the other side of the offense.
Oh, is that you? Are you the white hat here?
Yeah. So if it's this slot receiver on the right, if he goes in orbit and it goes this way, I might be able to help a little more.
Yeah.
But this way with the pass pretty much splitting me between the throw passer and the receiver, I'm going to have no idea being that far back.
And I know the film for you guys watching it may be a little bit choppy, but this one, when you play it in real time, you guys did a great job with this. This was definitely a backwards pass. So this was definitely a backwards pass. And if it would have hit the ground, this is why, again, we're slow with the whistle. And we say the play kills itself, because if I'm this short official on this side, I don't always have the best view. It's going to be the backside official that may want to kill that play to let me know that it was a forward pass as opposed to a backward pass. And if I don't see or hear them doing anything across the field, well, I'm letting the play out. So again, this is where the crew and the communication stuff all comes into play. And again, the better that we do it, the less you as coaches even know what the heck's going on. No offense. Do a really good job with that one. So
what we did get yelled at about on this play was that crackback block by the bottom side.
Tommy, we're talking about mechanics tonight, not flags. Remember?
That's part of it. Why didn't you see it? Right.
I'm pulling back up. I didn't see it myself.
That slot on the hash mark there
on the bottom of the screen.
Maybe legal, maybe right.
Oh, that's legal, baby.
I agree. There's another one that we called later, but that's actually a tough one. Who's going to actually see that? Because I get over there too late. Short wing, and we weren't talking keys. That's probably his key, but
with
he's
action
also
coming to them,
potential out of the backfield. Deep wings on this guy. That's kind of a blind spot. Almost.
We just said that he's supposed to be watching for a backwards pass, and he's also supposed to see a crackback. So.
Well. So now here, and I love the 6-man mechanics that we have here in New Jersey, but here is where we do catch ourselves in a little bit of a bind, is we do have a couple dead spots, typically in the middle of the field, because the umpire's focusing on the point of the attack and the lineman. So if I don't see that completely, I'm not throwing it. So if my focus is still on the interior guys, I'm not going to throw that one. The white hats focus is on the quarterback. They're their bodyguards for the game. The quarterbacks have their own personal bodyguards, and that's the person wearing the white hat. So now it falls upon somebody else who's got 5 or 6 other keys on that particular spot. So that's the ones where it kind of does get a little bit lost in that area, where if we did have a back judge playing center field, well, now they're triangulating, they're keeping everything in their field of vision. that's an easy pickup sometimes for the back judge or for the 5-person crew, 7-person crew. And again, now we're talking keys on who's got number 1, who's got number 2, and different things like that. But it's a lot of stuff going on. And unfortunately, like Tom said, that's a dead zone right there.
I think 7 officials, you get that every time because the back judge is keying on that receiver right there. So 5, it may be a little different. I know keys for 5 for the back judge or the widest guy, I think. But 7 officials on the field, you're going to get that one every time, I think.
All right, so here's another play I want to give some props to. And this is on a play where we have intentional grounding. So first thing talking about intentional grounding is whose flag is this? Who's the only person that should be throwing this flag? Anyone?
Anyone?
The white hat was supposed to be watching the quarterback, so I assume he also penalizes the quarterback, right?
Yep.
You got it.
So this is only the white hat's flag with help, because the white hat doesn't, because they're watching the quarterback for any type of late hits or anything like that or unnecessary roughness. Now it's comes to the short wings, the umpires to say, hey, I didn't have anybody in the area. The ball didn't cross the line of scrimmage. I had him still in the pocket. So in this scenario, I'm going to let this one kind of play out. You'll see how the communication aspect comes into play. So the quarterback kind of rolls out to their left, comes back to the right, and then just kind of floats the ball to no man's land. So we got an official coming in waving incomplete, and now you see all 3 officials come together in that aspect, and they're going to talk it over. In that scenario, there wasn't a flag because the quarterback initially broke the pocket. So even though they came back into the pocket, they're going to not have a flag on that one. And the ball, let me replay that. Did it get to the line of scrimmage, Tom?
3 yards short. Yeah, about 3 yards short.
I hate this play because my short wing can be overly critical. Will be like, well, it didn't reach the line of scrimmage, but it was very close and it bounced over the line of scrimmage.
So you see
technically by the book, you have grounding here.
Yeah, because it's a couple of yards short, right?
2 yards short. But is anybody going to complain when they see the ball get picked up at like the 40, the 38 there?
Yep. And so, Daniel, to go back to our manual here, we have a whole section in the back of philosophies and if-then type of scenarios. And this would be one of those, well, if in doubt of if the ball reached the line of scrimmage, we're going to say it reached the line of scrimmage. So that's going to be one of those type of things. If it's sketchy, we're going to kind of go with the benefit of the doubt in essence. So because the human error and the human element, I should refer to it more as, we want to kind of give the benefit of the doubt to in some scenarios. So, but I think the crew did a great job in coming together and communicating this play. All right. So Daniel, what are the craziest plays that officials have to deal with on a week in and week out?
The craziest?
Yeah. What type of play? Run plays, pass plays,
kick plays.
Yeah. I've trained you well, young Padawan. All right. So we got a kickoff here, and let's watch the reverse mechanics now, because we're going to have a long kick return here. And
these uniforms, 10 out of 10, by the way. Look at these. Gold and black.
I can't comment on that, but you may see a helmet
Mike's a little
behind
biased towards those. Were you taking podcast recordings from the track the other night too?
I was not. So Tom worked. This is my hometown school. So Tom had the playoff game on Friday night, and I didn't have a game until Saturday. So I finally got to go see our hometown team play. And it just happened that Mr. Barlow, the man himself there, was the head referee on it. So I was heckling them as I should do, because I got down to the track.
These refs suck. Send the zebras home.
But in this scenario, so our short wings, our referee and our 2 short wings for our standard kickoff return are going to be situated on the goal line. Our umpire is behind the kicking team. And then we got our 2 deep wings on K's side And on our side, and we flip flop sides, so it could, I don't want to say that this is our side judge and this is our back judge or vice versa. So our deep wings are on their respective sides. So we're looking for offsides and make sure the ball goes over 10 yards so we get a first touching or onside kick type of scenario. But now on a reverse mechanic, on a long return, these two are responsible for the goal line. That is their sole responsibility, not to get beat deep. The short wings have the spot from their goal line to the 3-yard line. They got to go 97 yards potentially. So this is where reverse mechanics come into play. And you'll see the official up top when he starts reading the reverse mechanic and the long kick return, because they should be kind of just floating. And you see on the goal line, coming off the goal line now because the ball has been received. So everybody, the goal line, because if the ball crosses the goal line, we got a touchback. So now they're coming off, and now the gentleman breaks it. So our umpire is going to do the statue that they like to do, me being one of them. And you're going to see our wings now, our deep wings should be opening up their hips and going. Now in this scenario, the young man runs out of bounds and our deep wing comes up and gets the spot on that one. Technically, they should not, because if they didn't have him out of bounds, they're getting beat to the goal line. I'm going to kind of fast forward it.
So he should have already been running.
He should have had his hips opened up instead of being able to plant and come back there. As this guy is running, he's just, well, I'm 51 years old, and speed has never been in my vocabulary personally. And as I get older, I get slower. And I find that these high school kids, well, they just get damn faster. And so we want to make sure to keep that cushion and keep on getting our depth on that one. And again, in that scenario, we should have been on our O to O, letting them know where the spot is. He did a good job of getting a spot. And this is one where, Tom, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think any evaluator is going to be overly critical of them getting the spot on that long run. It's just, if that kid were to stay in bounds, was he going to get beat to the goal line? And that's where the criticism could come in. Am I correct in saying that, Tom?
Yeah, that's really where it comes down. I don't think anybody cares. You know, we don't want to do that, but nobody cares about helping your partner out on a longer, even that's a 50-yard run for your short wing there. It's really that if that kid didn't go out of bounds, now you're in trouble and well behind the play.
All right. So we got one kick play, and now we're going to go with an onside kick play. And, well, this one mechanically is not as sound. So we got our umpire still back. Now, when we know that, when we're in, I shouldn't say no, because we never know what you crazy coaches are going to do in your heads. But we got a fourth quarter. The score is 40-26 on this kickoff. The team that's losing is kicking off. So there's looks like 2:40 left in the game. We're going to anticipate an onside kick. So in an anticipated onside kick, we're taking the short wings off of the goal line and we're bringing them up to the 40 and 50 yard line. So now we have two sets of eyes making sure that we're not offsides, and two sets of eyes making sure that that ball went 10 yards. So we should have an official here and diagonal, an official at the 50 and diagonal. For some reason, we got a guy on the 45.
I was going to ask, what is he doing?
He's got a great view.
Now he's trying to get the spot. He did get the spot. Isn't he supposed to be on the goal line? Is that what you just said?
Not anymore. So he should have been up here on the 40. Or if anything, which again, we sometimes do because we don't have letters on our back, we sometimes bump our short wing up to the 40 and they take the 50. But we want to have basically two guys on K's line and two guys on ours line so that we know, and we have that 10-yard neutral zone. We have that buffer covered. So the umpire is looking for the pop-up kick. All these guys are looking for and have bean bags in their hands and making sure we don't have first touching or all that other stuff, and coming in hard to kill that play and to signal who recovers the ball. So again, this is where our O to O's come into play. And unfortunately, I don't know whose crew this is, but if this is a mixed crew, which we do get here in New Jersey, and I know a lot of people around the country do that on a consistent basis, this is the one that we want to talk about and make sure that we have our guys in the right position. Because again, as a coach, put the guys in the right position. It's up to them to execute. Well, right now, we're not in the right position. So if something funky were to happen here, you coaches have something that you can get on us for.
Right.
All right. So I want to go. I got one or two more that I want to pop up here. And so I mentioned before that as an umpire, I'm never the one that's going to be getting a spot, nor should I be signaling touchdown, because I don't really have a great angle to see where forward progress ended. On our goal line situation, so we got a situation where they're on the +5 yard line going in. First thing for me, I'm going to be about 3 to 4 yards deeper in the end zone if this was me, because I don't want to be anywhere near that goal line, because my big ass possibly could obstruct my wing's view of that goal line. So I want to be back. So in this scenario, the ball snapped from the 5. It looks like the umpire is at about 6. Mechanically, we want to be between 7 and 9. I prefer to go a little bit deeper because I think I got a wider field of vision. But that's just one thing that I picked up on initially. But now, let the play go. Got an inside handoff, takes it up top. The wing up top, blows the whistle, starts extending their arms. And now our umpire gives some type of signal. And to me, it almost looks like he's giving a like short signal.
Short, yeah.
Like, oh, we're about like 2 feet short. I paused it right there. And you see the official on the top of the screen where the play went to is giving the touchdown signal. His hands are going up. This guy here shouldn't be doing anything. I don't know why he's even looking in here. We got his deep wing coming in to retrieve the ball. Let's clean up and make sure that there's not any other stuff going over here. But he's putting his hands up almost like I don't even know exactly what he's doing. But again, that's not our call as an umpire. So mechanically, 3 out of 4 on the screen that we're visually looking at are doing it 100% correct. Now, is this a bad knock on the umpire? No. But it's just something we shouldn't do, because God forbid this guy was killing it. Instead of his hands going up, he was going up to kill the clock. And now all of a sudden a coach sees this, and now we look bad. Oh, he's calling a touchdown and he's killing the clock. So it's an optic that we don't want to put ourselves into. All right. So any questions, Daniel, on that?
No, I'm glad to like kind of see what the mechanics are supposed to look like, because now I'll just be critiquing refs every Friday and letting them know, like, you're screwing this up, Bob. What are you doing here?
Wait, you haven't been doing that already?
No, I try. Matter of fact, being on with you has made me super nice. We had an issue this weekend where they were just letting dog piles go forever. I'm talking like 5 seconds of no motion, just kids running in and hitting extra. And I was like, Jesus Christ, blow this whistle. But I'm not so sure everyone on the sideline wasn't giving them, kind of giving them the business. And then I was just very polite, like, hey, man, I don't really want my kids hurt. I don't give a shit about 6 inches of forward progress, or I don't want a torn ACL or something stupid. It's my rolling up. So, just be able to talk to them. But no, I have not critiqued a ref yet.
Bullshit. Sorry.
Not out loud.
I've been fighting a cold here. I just popped in another cough drop, but I guess I wasn't in time with that bullshit. I mean, that cough.
But now I know. Now I know what the mechanics are supposed to look like. So I'll be like, hey, dude, you're on the wrong. You're looking at the wrong thing. What are you doing? That's his job.
So I got one more here on a goal line type of situation, but not a true goal line. Well, it is a true goal line situation. But now we're going to talk about our deep wings on our goal line. So the ball now is about to be snapped from. This kid backtracks because I think he's going to back the line up offside. So yeah, they're snapping the ball from basically the 10-yard line, give or take. So for us in New Jersey, our short wings, our deep wings, I'm sorry, are going to hold the goal line until the ball gets inside 7-yard lines or deeper. Or is it 8-yard line, Tom? Is it 8 or 7? 7. Okay, I was right the first time. So once it gets within 7 yards, now it's going to be our short wings goal line, and our deep wings are going to get to the back of the end zone to get the end line. So in this scenario, everybody's good. We're initially set up correct, but now we got a pass play that's going to go to the back of one of the sides. And I want you to take note to what that gentleman was doing up top there. So as soon as the ball on this pass play crosses the goal line in the air, there's no reason for that official to still be on the goal line because we know that the ball is going to be in the end zone. Unlike the play that I showed where the play happened right at the goal line, well, this one is an obvious one that the ball is going to be in the end zone. So the official comes off and they get themselves in a perfect view right there to see if the receiver makes the catch and controls the ball, while you now have a secondary official hugging the out of bounds line and making sure that they got feet in bounds. So this is one where positionally, I think our deep wing did an excellent job on that. He gets in a good spot. He was in a safe position where he was backed off a little bit so his eyes could see it. The one thing I do wish he would have done before he went up, he had it, is I just like to confer with our short wing here to make sure that everybody saw the same thing of feet landing inbounds and ball was controlled. But positionally, Tom, you have any critique on that?
No, I mean, he did absolutely the right thing. The thing I would have done, you're just, my thing is he's standing 2 or 3 yards off the pylon, which is perfect. You could even get wider out near the track, and potentially that photographer, videographer was over there. Because you got to be able to see the end line. You can, like you said, have help from your short wing as far as the sideline. But if he's got it all the way, he doesn't really need to check because short wing is coming up. They can help you, but they don't need to help you on that situation.
Touchdown.
Yeah, in any case, wider's always better. You're safer. You're not going to worry about a kid running into you or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can give the signal from wherever you are. I mean, if you watch games on Saturday and Sunday, you see it. Those guys are on the pylon standing in the crowd of photographers, press, whatever, and they're 5 yards back, almost like, a crowd following Tiger Woods, when he hits a shot in the trees. And they're just standing there and they stay there and they give their signal from where they are, and it's perfect.
So, yeah, I like the way that they did this one. And again, the angle that we have on camera right now that I'm talking about, he's probably well inbounds at if it's complete obvious that the player is inbounds, you don't need to look for help from your short wing. But if it's anywhere close to the boundary, to the out of bounds, that's where you have your help. And we talk about it as a crew where if I'm blocked out and I can see the ball, I'm going to take the ball. And my partner is going to take the feet. If I can't see the ball, I'm going to take the feet because then my partner will be able to see the ball. So it's kind of that communication, not cross field like we had on our soft spot, but now between our short and deep wing that are on the same sideline. And they go up, come in, woo, and clean up any garbage and any mess that's going on there. So that's just a taste of our mechanics manual. Just throwing it out there to the coaches. That's just, like I said, our mechanics manual here in New Jersey is 90 pages plus. But the one thing that I know a lot of people in New Jersey can proudly say is that I can go officiate a game in the northern region of the state of New Jersey. I can go to the farthest south region of the state of New Jersey, and the game should be officiated the same way. Not all states can say that because
I was going to add, that was going to be my next question, was universally where are we at with, like, is Oklahoma supposed to be similar to that? Is it NFHS guided, or is it just your local chapter?
So to my knowledge, it's your local chapters, because I know of talking with other officials around the country. One part of the state will have one set of mechanics where the other part of the state has a different set of mechanics, but they're always staying in their particular area. But a gentleman I was talking to from Ohio was recently saying one of the biggest frustrations that he had in Ohio was, well, he got placed all over the place, and he lived on, I want to say it was the Ohio and Indiana border. So he would sometimes cross the state line and do games where the mechanic would change again. And now Ohio is like New Jersey, where they have one, and I actually have the Ohio book here. They call it the Golden Book, but it's the Ohio Association for Mechanics. So I'm doing my study in across the country here on the mechanics to see well, if I could steal anything from Ohio and something that I might like from their book to bring to our association, and then eventually, if that were the way, then bring to our state. So different things like that. So, but yeah, each state is going to be different. And again, each state mechanically is different. Here in New Jersey, we're a 6-person crew. Typically, we have 5-person crews still. Some schools that don't pay for the 6-person, but pretty much the majority of the schools now are going 6. And again, our bigger playoff games now are going 7. So, but yeah, we're already an hour plus into this episode, and we could be here for days upon days of different type of scenarios and plays. And, we talk about the case book, but this is our other Bible here. So we want to make sure that we have that book with us. We want to have our rule book. We want to have our case book, and sometimes the writing book pregame, just to go over different things. So if you ever have a scenario that Tom had pop up over the weekend where another official was calling him for a rules clarification 10 minutes before he was walking out for his state playoff game, well, we want to avoid that. So bring the books with you, bring those manuals with you, bring the mechanics manuals with you, so that everybody's on the same page. So if you do get a mixed crew, you're all still on the same page. All right. So, gentlemen, once again, I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy schedules to jump on here tonight. Hopefully, if you're out there listening, hopefully you were able to get something from this. Again, I know a lot of people have been asking me about mechanics. If you have any other questions, or there was a topic that I didn't hit on tonight, shoot me an email. I'm open for other suggestions or different things. And again, I'll help you out the best way that New Jersey can possibly help you out with when it comes to the mechanics. Because again, if it's a little bit different, I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction and get you in trouble in your own association. But Daniel, I think basically for what we have, I think a lot of the stuff does hold true for across the country, especially when it comes to our short wings and our referees' mechanics. Umpires' mechanics might be a little bit different on who's got the line of scrimmage in a 5-person game, things like that.
Right.
But for the most part, I think the topics that we hit on are pretty standard across the board. Gents, once again, thank you very much. Thomas,
Thank you.
I will see you tomorrow night. We have our officials banquet going on tomorrow night. So it's kind of our end of the year wrap up, even though we're only in round number 2 of playoffs and round number 1 for our parochials. And Daniel, good luck for you on Friday night.
Appreciate you, good sir. Need a good win.
Win and get in, baby.
Got to beat my alma mater to get in the playoffs, so it should be a good one. I'm here for it.
No
boys.
bias going on there.
No loyalty to the past. It's all present. The Stowe. Let's go.
There you go. All right, guys. Well,
Appreciate you guys.
Be
Mike,
well.
thanks for having me on again, man.
Absolutely. Be well, fellas.